All right, here we go. Robin Banks in the building. How you been, man?
What's poppin'? I've been good, just chilling. Same old, really.
Dope, dope. Well, thank you for coming in, man. It's the first time we're sitting down, so I want to take it from the top. So you grew up in Driftwood, in Toronto, Canada,
Yeah.
right? Driftwood's in the folklore of Toronto culture. Can you describe what the community is like in there?
Community is like, to be honest, we're all a family if you really think about it. You got your ups, your downs, the good times, the bads. You know what I'm saying? One thing about a community is that no matter what, we always come together regardless. I feel like that's why we're such big influences.
Your background Somalian.
Yeah.
Right? Is there a big Somali community in Driftwood?
Yeah, there's a lot of us over there in the hood. But it's multicultural as well, just like the city. Like, you got all kind of sorts of people there.
I wanted to touch on some of the Somali rappers
Yeah.
that have come out in the past decade. Why do you think there's so many Somali artists that are finding success in this moment in the industry, and why not before?
I don't think there were that many Somali artists out there. And like before I jumped into the game, it was like Somali artists weren't really like the light wasn't shining on us. For when it came to the rap game and stuff. Like we had Kanan, but then that was about it. Like it was super mainstream, and then like it wasn't really like, oh, Kanan the Somali rapper, Somali artist. It was just Kanan, international artist. But once I started making my music, started making noise, I made sure that everybody knew like Ron Banks, that Somali artist. I put in my lyrics, like, you know what I'm saying? Put it on the net, everything, and let them know, like, you know what I'm saying? We're here, like,
And you're really one of the first guys to actually use Somali words in your music.
mm-hmm.
How did it feel after you made those hits and um, you saw a lot of these Somali guys come in the game and use these Somali words, and other rappers too, they picked up on it. How
Mm-hmm.
did that feel?
To be honest, it's cool when you see that you're setting trends. Um, cause like growing up, we are setting different type of trends, but to see now you got from the youngins to OGs, like looking at you and seeing what you're doing, following what you're doing, taking the lingo and everything. Like it feels good. Like you feel like you're a part of something like bigger than what I'm saying than you're used to and stuff.
Okay.
That's cool.
So you're really first generation Somali in the game. What do some of the older generation, um, what do they think about the first generation being rappers?
Uh, I mean, are you talking about like the
The older
older
generation,
generation?
yeah.
Like they hate rap music. They hate rap music. Like music's a part of our culture, but it's more like Somali music, the cultural stuff. But to be honest, like that wasn't gonna knock me down. You know what I'm saying? Like I made sure like everybody got comfortable with it. Like everybody got used to it. Now you're hearing Somali rappers being played at weddings and social events and stuff like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Before only rap music you're hearing was like the American music and stuff like that. No Somali artists at all.
Okay, so once you and other Somali rappers started finding success, the older generation sort of came around it and
Hmm.
saw it as a career path for some of the younger generation.
Hmm.
Was there anybody in the community growing up that you looked up to, that you were inspired by?
I won't say really looked up to, but growing up, like certain of the older dogs were doing certain things, and you'll be like, yo, like he has money, I want money. He has that swag, I want that swag. So it was more like it wasn't more looking up to, but it was more like observing, learning the game, um, and I was like, yeah, like when it came to music and anything else, there wasn't really nobody in my life that inspired me to do it. It was just a passion that I always had. But as far as it came with like the swag and the lingo and stuff, like I learned to pick up a 1 2 from like the older dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Growing up in Driftwood and being a Somali rapper, did you feel like there was a stigma around it? Like odds were stacked against you?
Of course, always. Um, Not only because I was Somali, but because I was Somali in the hood that I was from. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people try to give us this certain reputation. So when they hear certain people are coming from our area, like all of a sudden everybody wants to put a break on it. Try like stop us, you know, a bunch of roadblocks all of a sudden on our path. So it was, yeah, like there was a bunch of barriers I had to knock down, but we got them down, you know.
And how did it feel being really the first guy that blew up from down there and to break those barriers and have mainstream hits? What was that feeling like?
Um, it was good. Like I love it, you know what I'm saying? Especially the fact that I got to do this with a bunch of my friends that I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Like I got to show my dogs a whole different thing, and then we just started making hits on hits, and now you can't speak on the city without saying Robin Banks or anybody from the hood, whether it's Pressa, RP, Houdini, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as they hear, oh, rappers from Jane Finch, no, 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 no. But when other rappers rap the same lyrics we're rapping, they're okay with it. You know what I'm saying? When other rappers are coming to certain events, they're okay with it. But as soon as it's us, it's always a problem. So with the music, it kind of helped us break those barriers down a bit and let people see a different side of us. You know what I'm saying?
I want to get a little bit into how you started making music.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you said you had no inspirations really growing up in terms of music. So, what was it that made you want to record and get in the studio?
My favorite rapper is 50 Cent and Future, like the old school 50 Cent and Future, you know what I'm saying? So growing up listening to 50 Cent first, it was obviously straight rap music. And then when Future came in the game, he switched it up a bit. And like that was a whole different sound. So when I started recording, like at first, like I started like, okay, I'm gonna give them like a 50 Cent vibe. I started rapping, like there was no auto tune, no singing, no, that's just straight rap. And then I decided to use my inspirations are from the future side and mix it all together so I can sing but use the bars at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
Dope.
that's really kind of.
I remember some of that music coming out in your earlier career, and it had melodies to it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not something anybody really heard in Toronto at the time,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Do you think you pioneered that sound in Toronto?
Of course, of course. Like I'm not gonna say I invented the sound, but I definitely like panned it in the city. You know what I'm saying? Because before 2015, you won't really find any songs like that from the city at all. But once I dropped up next and I switched it up, I gave the city like a whole new wave. I see it a lot, you know, like, and everybody ran with it. And I like seeing it. Like, you see all these different artists now being recognized. Even artists that were rapping before me changed their the wave and everything, and now they're being recognized and everything like that, you know.
Yeah. So looking back at it from 2015 and
Mm-hmm.
where you're coming out, and then you inspired a lot of other rappers to come
Mm-hmm.
out and make melodic music. How has the scene really changed? And would you say Driftwood is the most popping scene and sound in Toronto right now?
100%, yeah, 100%. Like you got like 10 rappers rapping outside of the hood, and none of us sound the same. Even if all three of us are singing and using autotune, you still can tell the difference between all three of us. Then you got rappers like YG who do that straight trap rap. You know what I'm saying? A different sound for your ear. Then you got press a whole different sound for your ear. You know what I'm saying? So like we bring you all different kind of sounds.
Now you mentioned Houdini a little bit earlier. Rest in peace.
Uh,
Canada lost a very talented artist. He was shot and killed on May 26th in a senseless act of violence. Um, you guys came from the same hood. You guys are on the same label.
mm-hmm.
How well did you know him?
What do you need? That's my little brother. That's my little brother. Like so many memories I could share, and then there's a lot of memories you can't really say on camera. But like that was my little brother before I even rap. Like we was all hanging out. We used to stay at his crib and everything. We used to play ball in the court, everything, like, you know what I'm saying? And then as I started rapping, he was there in the studio with me, watching, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with us, you know what I'm saying? So once he started rapping, like, I already knew right away that, like, he was gonna be, like, great, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has the swag, the sound, everything.
What was the first thought that crossed your mind when you got the news?
Oh, like, that shit, like, the first thought that came to my mind was, like, I didn't believe it. Like, I was just sitting there waiting, refreshing the TLs and waiting on calls for people to tell me, like, nah, it didn't happen, It's all good. But once the news broke that, Houdini passed away, like, that shit hurt me. That was my little brother, like, he was meant to do great things. just not for himself, for his family too. You know what I'm saying?
What was the reaction like in the neighborhood and the community?
It was a big loss for sure. Everybody felt that one. That's a little bro right there. Like everybody felt that one. You know, like I said earlier, from the oldie to the YG, everybody felt that one. Everybody knew Houdini and his family. You know, the original from the hood. So everybody felt that one.
Yeah, man, he had just gotten back from LA after shooting a music video. He was getting major label looks
Mm-hmm.
and recognition from the industry heavyweights. And just as his career was taken off, it was cut short at the
Mm-hmm.
age of 21. Gone too soon, man. Rest in
Way
peace to
too
you.
soon. All right, P little bro. Hope you're watching this.
And I want to go back to your sound a little bit again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
again, so you mentioned that Future was an inspiration for you while making music. So how does it feel? Again, I asked this question before, but I really want to get into how does it feel having pioneered this sound where almost everybody's on that wave now, and you're almost, if you will, the father of the melodic rap,
Mm-hmm.
trap sound, and hip hop. Do you think you get the recognition or that you deserve?
Of course, like I see it a lot. I see a lot of people always showing me love and letting other people know, like, oh, like this sound started with him, and this you guys are trying to sound like Robin Band. Like those comments stuff are funny, but when when I see things like that, like it makes me even more motivated to go harder, and because, like I said, like we set trends, so I set a trend, and everybody ran with it. You know what I'm saying? To re-answer your question though, like it's this motivation because I didn't expect for that to happen. I didn't expect to start rapping, maybe get some recognition, get like a label deal. That's about it. But I wasn't really expecting like all eyes on me locally and internationally, like globally. So to see people jumping on the wave from here all the way across the sea and stuff, like it's motivation. Feels good.
You dropped "Don't Try Me," that creates a buzz.
Hmm.
Oh, now was that the first track um, that you made?
Officially,
Okay,
officially.
so that creates a buzz, and then you come up with the term TT right now. That blows up. How did you come up with that?
To be honest, just a lot of drunk times. To be honest. Like at the time, the whole drill wave was hot and everything. So we were always like, we're turning up to a bunch of Chicago music and everything, and they just had so much like their lingo was sick. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they said in the song was catching a wave and everything. So just one day while I was lit, it just like I just said it, and then I just started to run with it. Like, one two of my friends liked it. What does that mean? Explained it to them, and we just ran with it after that.
Dope. So you're just really high or drunk one day.
Yeah, like I was lit. And I tell you just turning up and stuff.
Okay. And you're just saying TT, and then I turned into a whole wave.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you put it out in the universe, and the biggest musician in the world takes the term and uses it as his Instagram caption. Was it?
Hmm.
Okay. Did you know he was gonna do it?
No, you said Drake, right?
Yeah,
No,
Drake.
no, no. I didn't know I was gonna do it.
Okay. So what was the reaction like when Drake took the term and he put it out there? When did you find out?
Um, I was actually sleeping in the studio, and then my ex manager woke me up, and he's like, "Yo, look at this." Threw the phone at me, and then showed me the picture of Drake put it up. So we're looking at it, we're happy, like, all laughing and shit. Pass the bar to it, like, okay, like this is the beginning. If he's listening, who else is listening? So then that just motivated us to just keep going, don't get lazy, keep the movement and stuff. So
Yeah, man. That must have been crazy that he is the biggest musician, rapper in the world.
hmm
He's taking your term. He's listening to your music,
hmm
right? So that motivated you to go harder.
yeah.
And with the term now being used by people, not just in music, but sports as well. Again, do you think you get the recognition you deserve for coining the term? Because right now it's international, everybody's using it.
hmm
Some people might not
I
even know
mean,
the origins of it.
yeah, that's sort of like, some people might not know that it's this term that I brought to life, but it don't really bug me because I know how they all heard that term. The biggest artist in the world keeps using it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really the type of person that's hungry for recognition and all that because I know sooner or later everybody's gonna find out where that really came from. I just got to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Get my name out there more.
Okay, so your buzz is getting bigger in Toronto, right? And you're dropping videos that are getting millions of views. And then you do a collaboration with the Chicago scene. How did that come about?
Um, I remember one day we were just chilling in the hood, and then one of my friends like, yo, I've been messaging Travoki's in the city. Um, he's saying 500 for the verse right now. So I said, yeah, let's do it. Sent him the money, gave him an address to pull up to the studio, and we just went right away and we just started recording all night.
So,
Yeah.
what was the reception like to Robin Banks in Chicago?
Um, at first, my name wasn't really, I didn't really hear much about my name in Chicago. But as time was going by, like, I started hearing, like, oh, yeah, someone was like, yeah, I was in the Chicago streets and a car drove by me bumping one of your songs and all of that. So, like, once I heard that, then we collabed with another artist from Chicago. And he was like, yeah, I heard about you a long time ago. Like, yeah, your name's actually, like, you're popping out there in Chicago and stuff. So then that's how I figured out, like, okay, like, it's working. Like,
So people in the U.S. are listening to Robin Banks now.
and yeah, like, the whole point of doing this song with someone else is to get the buzz from over there and everything, and it was working.
Was this around the time that you started having discussions with Meek Mill and signing to him?
No.
Okay, so how did that come about?
Um, that was around. I was like, oh, when was that time? The whole Meek thing, like 2016 winter and stuff. 2016 winter. Okay, so like, it's about at first. Um, Pressa just came off tour and everything, so he's hot. Everybody wants Pressa left, right, center. So these guys, uh, Meek and them hit up Pressa and I'm like, we fuck with you and your campaign. Like all you guys, like, we've been looking at guys. So Pressa told me about that. FB told me about that. Like, so we're trying to figure out what are we gonna do and all that. So um, I think Pressa had his own situation going on at the time with other labels and stuff. So they were looking at me and FB because they were liking our song Priceless. So we chopped it up a bit. We used to talk FaceTime here and there, whatever, try and work something out. And then Meek told me fly out to Philly, come perform at his Meek Mill and Friends concert. So I was talking to his homie Mel, helped me book a couple hotels and shit, and then we went to go fly out. So, but unfortunately, when I went to go fly, they denied me to cross the border. So from there, like the whole dream chaser thing kind of was slowly falling apart. Cause then a couple weeks later, I got shot.
So, got a little bit into that.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do, how was it like? Just a couple of kids, a few kids coming out of Driftwood. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Drake's using um, your terms that you guys are inventing. Like rappers are taking Somali words and putting it in their music, and Meek Mill is looking at signing you guys. How was that all like? Just a couple of kids from Driftwood getting all this attention.
Like I said before, it's motivation. Like I can't even explain how it feels. Like you don't expect for all of that to happen. Because it started off as just doing it for fun. We've been making music for fun. Didn't expect for us to be recognized globally. So the feeling is like it feels good. It's like a feeling like you don't really feel when you're in the hood. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's a whole different type of vibe.
You mentioned that you're having these discussions with Meek Mill and Dream Chasers, and you couldn't get into the U.S. To go to one of the shows, and then this incident happens. Um, what was the occasion that evening?
It's just a regular night out, to be honest. A couple of my friends they were just celebrating their birthday, so they called me. I was talking to them, and I just said, "I'm gonna pull up, show some respect, stay
Okay.
for an hour or two, and then leave."
So was it a club?
I was like a little shisha cafe,
Okay.
like a mini club. It looks like a little mini club.
Okay. So can you take us through the events of that evening?
Um, I'm not even clear with the events of that evening, to be honest. I just stepped outside and, you know, I found it popping. That's about that.
So you're out with a couple of homies at this shisha lounge,
Mm,
and guess some people ran in armed there and let some shots fly off.
mm.
Okay, did you know what was happening? Did you see it happen?
What do you mean?
Did you see these people run in?
No, not really. It was just like as soon as we stepped out smoking a cigarette, element of surprise, right? That's about it.
Okay, so it happened outside.
Hmm.
Or, okay. And as it was happening, what were some of your initial thoughts?
Um, really and truly, you niggas shot off my legs right away. Like I took 9 shots to the legs, so I was like trying to drag my feet and shit, right? So as I was trying to do that, I couldn't do it. I couldn't drag my feet, and then the last shot that hit my neck is what took me down.
Okay, so 9 shots hit your legs,
Mm.
and then you got shot in the neck,
Another 5, so one in the neck and another 4 like my upper body.
or in your upper body.
Mm.
Okay, did you pass out?
Nah, we're your phone recording. The whole time I was blessed, no?
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So I was good until up until I got into the ambulance, and then I just don't remember nothing after that. Like it just passed out.
Okay, so you had 14 shots and you're still conscious up until they put
Yeah,
you in an
until they
ambulance.
like put like some mask thing on my face.
So when you woke up in the hospital bed, what was the? I assume they had you on a whole bunch of drugs and narcotics.
Hmm.
Did you? What were your thoughts when you woke up? How did it feel?
At first, when I woke up, like I didn't believe it. Like I thought it was probably like a dream or I'm still hallucinating off with drugs and stuff, you know. But once I woke up, I couldn't talk because I got shot in my neck. So I seen like my homies were around me and stuff, and like I was trying to talk, but I couldn't talk. So then I would have to use um like a little clipboard and a pen, like show them what I'm trying to say, stuff like that. So it was difficult at first, but it got easier after once I understood the situation.
Okay. Just want to rewind a little bit back to when the incident happened. Did you at any point think this was it for me?
Um, Not really. Like I was just laying there, like really in my mind, I was saying these fuckers got me, but then like I was kind of high at the same time, like as I was bleeding out, like it was a weird feeling, like I just felt woozy and high and everything. So I was just thinking like, yo, these guys got me, and then I started thinking where did my homies go, and then they came back for me and shit, just kept me alive and everything. So after that, once they were saying, "Yo, make sure you keep your eyes open," then that kind of like told me like, yeah, okay, like you gotta fight it. So that's what I did. I just fought through it.
When did you know the full extent of your injuries?
Um, Probably like a month later, my nurse told me like everything that happened. Um, and then now she just told me like how many times I got shot, what happened, all the injuries, everything, and then yeah, that's about it. No more to it.
Okay. Can you explain or share with the viewers the extent of your injuries?
I just can't walk right now, but I'm getting stronger though every day. I do my physio. You know what I'm saying? I surprise myself every day with something new. So I just got to be patient with it. Keep grinding too.
Did you know the social media trends that you were trending on social media when this happened? And did you see or hear the talk that was going on?
Um, no, not really. I like my homies told me everything afterwards. It took me about like 3 weeks. I was on the drugs for like 3 weeks, and once they brought me off of it, that's when I started finding out everything that was going on. So my homies were just telling me like, yeah, Twitter this. Some people still think I'm dead. CB24 dead and all that stuff. So
Okay.
I just heard about it later. But all of that doesn't really like. I don't really care about that.
Did you expect to get all the coverage you were getting?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect to get all the coverage I was getting, but it kind of showed me like I was like, yo, like you see a lot of these rappers die nowadays, and they get so much love they weren't showing when they were alive. So when I seen all of that, like that was going through my mind, like, why am I getting so much love now? Where was this a couple of weeks ago before I got shot? But Yeah, it's not like something I was looking forward to or whatever.
Okay. And what was the outpour like from the community?
Outpour?
The community, yeah, what was the
Um,
reaction like?
I don't really know if I can answer that question or anything.
Okay.
I wasn't really out there like that, right? After I got shot, so I don't think I can answer that question.
Okay. Did you see the RIP Robin Banks trend on Twitter and
Somebody showed me that one. Somebody showed me that one. I actually laughed because I was like, "This is how bad y'all want me to gun," like you know. So it was really funny, but like, if you like, what was that line they say? You ain't popping if you ain't got no haters. So
facts?
it's not always gonna be good, no matter what the situation is, you know.
So going through such a traumatic experience, um, were there times where you thought about maybe quitting music, just getting away, leaving the game altogether?
Um, there's never times where I thought about quitting music, but there's always times where you just want to get away from everything for a bit. Even before I got shot, it's always been like that. Like I always want to take time from all the everything that's going around you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're from where we're from. So from young, you're going through something already, you know. So,
And how long after the incident did you start recording again?
I was back in the studio. I was in the hospital for 2 months. As soon as I got to rehab, I went back to the studio same week. I recorded a song off my Still Her mixtape with my throat still open and everything. Like, 'cause I had a big hole in my neck and shit.
Okay. So what was that what was that process like? Was it difficult to?
Yeah, it was hard at first, but it was hard. It was hard, but I don't know if it's pride or ambition, but some about me, like, I just don't quit, you know? So I tugged it out with that, and then I knew I could do it, so I started going back to the studio after that.
Okay. So you still had a hole in your throat. Is that when they have like a tube?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the trick, you know?
And you were still able to rap and record
Yeah, my
music.
voice was totally different because I dropped a song called Save Me right after. I remixed Meek Mill song Save Me. And like you can hear it in there, like my voice was totally different. It took time for me to get like most of my voice back to its original sound, you know?
What were some of the things you did to really get that voice back?
Like I did I had to do like some like speech therapy, I guess. Like I worked with a doctor on my vocal cords. Like she was just showing me different exercises and all that stuff. So that helped me like get them stronger.
Okay, and that was part of your rehab.
Yeah. Not really. I asked for it separately, but yeah, I made it part of my rehab.
So you remixed the Meek Mill song, and he also posted support for you on Instagram. Were you guys still talking at the time?
Yeah, yeah. He used to call me while I was in rehab and stuff like that. Before he went to jail, we talk all the time, catch up and figure out what we're gonna do. Like we're still talking about doing projects and stuff together. Still trying to fly me out there, get me out there, but um, he went to jail and then that kind of like fell through after that.
Did you ever doubt that you'd be able to make the same kind of music and the same quality of music again after going through such an experience?
Um, at first, yes, because my voice was extremely deep, but after a few months of doing rehab and stuff like doing these like um exercises for my vocal cord and stuff like the motivation was coming back because I could start hearing myself again slowly and slowly. Like I had to just learn that everything just takes time, you know.
And how did it feel to go through it all and drop a mixtape? What was that experience like? What was the reaction like? That first mixtape that came out after that whole incident.
A lot of people were surprised. They didn't expect me to do anything so soon, but I had to, you know, let them know like I'm good, I'm still here.
And where's your head at right now, man?
It's where it's always been, you know. I never lost focus on the grind, you know, on the hustle and everything. Um, like I said earlier, like there might be a bit more roadblocks on the road now, but we're still pushing through, you know.
You're an inspiration to a lot of people.
Do I think that? I don't know. I guess so. People message me every day telling me that. So from the word of those people, I guess so. You know.
So they'll reach out to you and sort of things what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So like some people just be like, or like some people, a lot of people be like, our situations are not similar, but like, um, I guess the pain and the mindset is like how did you like what helps you get through like what you're going through, and like we speak on that, like tell them like I just kick it with my dogs, you know what I'm saying? I'm still grinding, like I do things that I still like, even though it might not be the same, but you know what I'm saying? It's better than not being able to do any of these things. So it is like that.
Okay. So can you speak a little bit about the where Up Top movement is at the moment and what fans can expect from Robin Banks and the Up Top movement in 2020 and 2021?
Right now, we brought back our label IMG, International Money Getter. So, um, you know, there's been a lot that's been really going on lately, for us with all the losses we're taking and stuff. So I can't really give you the game plan just yet with UTM, but right now with the whole IMG move, like we're trying to rebrand that again,
Okay.
bring it back up. We got some new artists that's coming.
Okay.
Uh,
And can you share like who's signed to the label at the moment?
Um, I can't really disclose that information
Just a
just
surprise
yet.
for the fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything you'd like to say, man? Anything you'd like to add, say to the fans, or somebody that's going through a hard time? What would you tell them?
Just don't give up. Like times get hard, take a break. You know what I'm saying? Get your mind right and get back to it. Not everybody's the same, so whatever helps me might not help them. But you just gotta find what does. You know. Fortunately for me, like I got people supporting me regardless, so that boosts up my morale and everything. You know. Yeah. So just don't give up no matter what.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for coming in, Robin.